Hi, so I'm Anthony Keller. I've been a neighbourhood officer with Devon Housing for just over 3 years. I suppose no one really ever leaves school expecting to be a housing officer. You kind of end up here, but I've done public service roles before, very similar to this, and it came up and I thought, you know what, I'd be great at that and I really enjoy it. So it was the role that came up and inspired me rather than me wanting to be a housing officer. But it is brilliant and I haven't looked back. So my day starts whenever I log on really, which can be at any time between 7:30 and 9:30, depending on what I've got on that day. The first thing I do is check our out of hours report, see if anything happened overnight, check my emails, and then check for any reports or triages that have come in from tenants or from other residents, and prioritise from there really. If there's anything major that's happened overnight, then we need to look at that, but otherwise I get on with the day. So kind of stuff that we deal with is anything really that can involve a tenancy. I mean, we manage tenants who are already signed up to Devon Housing. We don't deal with people who are homeless and are looking for housing options. So it could be anything. I don't deal with rent and I don't deal with repairs, but I deal with absolutely anything else. So it could be someone saying, I've got a question about my tenancy, I want to know whether it is secure, whether I've come out of an introductory period. It could be I want to question a boundary plan. It could be I've got a problem with the neighbour. It could be just some advice because they're looking to move or want to know what their options are. Tenants that we have are many and varied. We've got people who have been living in our properties for decades, and we've got people who are new from all walks of life, from all different complexities and all different backgrounds. And with that brings a whole host of vulnerabilities sometimes. We are very heavily involved with social services, with schools, with the police, with mental health services, because ultimately we are often the first point of call when it comes to highlighting issues and things that come up, because we're in people's houses and we go and see people quite often, and we are the front line, if you like. So we often refer to services, or services refer to us, because we're a big player when it comes to safeguarding people. So we attend multi-agency meetings to do with safeguarding adults, with children, with domestic abuse. We have a really good relationship with our local policing teams, and with the NHS. It's really anyone who's got anything to do with any of our tenants, we get to know and become involved with. So there are many ways that we build relationships with our tenants. There are obviously all the tenant involvement campaigns and ways people can involve themselves with us. We visit people in their homes quite a lot. We do a lot of out and about. We're not just office based, we are mobile as well. So I'm in our properties, out and about on our patch, maybe 2 days a week. So we get to know our tenants. I mean, some people we will never hear from because they live their lives, they get on with themselves and never really have reason to contact us, whereas others, their needs are much greater, so we have more contact with them. We do communal inspections of our blocks of flats and communal areas monthly. We do estate walkabouts 6 monthly, and they're really good opportunities to meet people and get to know them. And obviously day to day, if we need to go to people's houses or the people have got things they need to talk about, then that's other ways that we can get involved with people. So I suppose my fundamental role as a neighbourhood officer is to enable people's housing and to maintain their tenancies. And as a local authority, we have an obligation to prevent homelessness, and that is our primary function, is to keep people in their homes, maintaining their tenancies, so that they have stable and fulfilling lives. And what that means really is that we are there when they need us. And that could be really simple things like, there's a change to my tenancy, can you help me with this, or I need some advice. Or it could be that they're really struggling with debt or with mental health, or that there's an antisocial behaviour issue. So really my job is to be there when people need us. So the most challenging part of that is when we can't help people, when we reach a point where there's nothing more that we can do, or that as an organisation it's something that we just don't have that function available, and we have to say, I'm really sorry, but that we can't do that particular thing for you, but we can signpost, we can help in other ways. So that's what I find challenging, is that I can't solve every problem as much as I really would like to. Yeah. The job is extremely rewarding. I wouldn't do it otherwise. I get very bored very quickly, and this job certainly keeps me on my toes. I've been dealing with quite a few high profile antisocial behaviour cases recently, where unfortunately we have had to go to court and get possession of one of our properties. And the tenant of that property, we have engaged with, we tried to work with over many years, and unfortunately it came to the point where we had to end the tenancy, because the impact on the local community was enormous. There was a lot of drugs, there was a lot of antisocial behaviour, late at night, a lot of police visits, and it was extremely disruptive, particularly as one of the local neighbours was a young mum with very small children, and because of the impact had to move out of the property temporarily. So the rewarding part for me was being able to ring her from the property whilst we were boarding up and say, they've gone, you can come back, and she just burst into tears. And for me, that's the point that makes it worth it, where you can actually make an active difference to people, tackling antisocial behaviour, and improving people's lives for the better.